All right, we finally looked up everything that we bought off the Facebook deal, and long story short, after adding everything or looking everything up on price charting, put it in a spreadsheet, checking it all out, I did do $0 figures on a bunch of things. This little extension, PlayStation extension cord, it's a 7-foot extension cord. I put $0 on that. This controller, I put $0. These cases, I put $0. And that memory card I put $0. I don't think I think that may be everything I put $0 on, and this little half case, whatever, I put $0 on. Anyway, after looking it all up, based on price charting, ended up with a total of $394.91 is the total value, which is fantastic. If you remember, what I said was I had paid $60 for the GameCube stuff, including the games, and then all this other stuff kind of came up last minute after I got there. The guy was like, "Hey, what about all this other stuff I've got?" And I was asking him, "Hey, do you have other stuff you'd be willing to sell, whatever?" And I bought the rest of that for 60. So, I mean, I'm sorry, for $30 extra, so it was $90 total. So the total value of everything was $394.91. Typically, I like to pay 1/3 or less of the total price charting value, and I'll explain that a little bit. Basically, it has to do with the hassle of shipping and the hassle of listing it and dealing with all that, possible returns, uh, eBay fees or other fees from other vendors. Of course, some of the stuff I want to keep for collecting, and some of it I want to sell. So I'm just trying to make sure that I don't kind of lose my butt on something that's risky. So usually I would be a buyer at 131.64. I mean, $131.64 is 1/3 of that total value. I actually paid $90. So on this deal, on this Facebook deal, I actually paid about 23% of the total value, which is fantastic. So I think I did a great deal on those. Once again, on all this stuff over here to the side. Well, I did go back and forth with the guy on the GameCube stuff a little bit. He'd originally posted it for $125, but then less than 24 hours later, he dropped the price down to $75. I offered him $40 for just the GameCube. It does have the Game Boy player down there, but he did not take 50. He said, "What about 60?" Started talking to him about, "Hey, do you have any games or anything like that?" And he did. He had 2 games. And I said, "If you throw in the games, then I'll buy it at 60." So I thought that in and of itself was a really good deal. I was just kind of spitballing that was about $150 worth of stuff. So $50. I mean, sorry, $60 was roughly what I was willing to pay for all of that. And then all this other stuff was kind of a surprise. The DS Lite, a bunch of DS games, some Game Boy Advance games, PlayStation 1, and some PlayStation 1 games. The PlayStation 1 games, all the cases are kind of broken, so none of those are in fantastic shape, but they do all have the manual, and the games themselves seem like they're not scratched up at all, so they're in good shape. Anyway, I offered him $20 for all this stuff on this table here, the DS Lite, the PlayStation, and all these games and stuff. And I told him, I'm like, I don't normally buy these kind of things, so I'm not sure exactly how much they're worth. I'm not typically looking for PlayStation stuff or DS Lite stuff, so I didn't know, and that's the truth. And I told him, if $20 is too low, absolutely come back and ask for something different. And he said, "What about 30?" And so that was what we ran with. Paid $90, and looking like I should have figured out how much profit we have there, but I guess it's roughly $305. $305 worth of potential profit. So fantastic deal.